If you have a habit that brings you brief moments of joy followed by a prolonged period of regret, then this video is for you. So I have a couple bad habits that I'm trying to break. And let me just tell you a little story of one. So I had a recreational habit, right? And it was not serving me any purpose. It was not medicinal. It was recreational, helping me, not helping me in any way really, but providing a sense of like I could forget about my problems for a brief period of time. And, a little bit moment of joy, I guess, in my otherwise not great life. So I did it more frequently than I should. And then I read this book called The Easyway by Carr on how to break this habit. And even though it's not really addictive, but it is, you miss the feeling that you get when you are doing it, which I guess maybe it is addictive. I don't know, but you don't have like withdrawal symptoms like you would with a hard substance. But anyways, in that book, he recommends writing yourself a letter and describing how you feel after you've done that habit and kind of like how you would like to feel, something like that. That's what I did anyways. So I, in a particularly dark time, when I was doing it too much, really wanted to stop doing it, but I kept going back to it. And this was only a couple months ago, okay? So this is fairly recent. I wrote myself a letter describing how I felt after I did it. And he said it was really fresh because I was still actively doing it. And the letter really hit home. And although I haven't wanted to do it like every day or anything like that, there are times, like honestly, most of the time now I don't even think about it because I have other things to do. But there are these times when I'm alone, I'm feeling lonely, sad, I just want to forget about my life for a little bit, where I want to do it. And so I keep this letter in my car because I'd have to go to my car to go get it because I'm in Canada and it's legal here, so pretty easy to come by. So, and actually this past weekend I wanted to do it. I don't know, it's Christmas time. So many factors, there's a lot of extra factors and excuses, I guess. But anyways, I wanted to. And I was really close. I was by myself. I had the time. I could have easily went and got some. But I read that letter because it was in my car and I read it and I was like, oh, like it brings back a lot of feelings of how you feel afterwards, right? Like leading up to it, you feel good, like, oh, I'm gonna do this and feel good. But there's so many feelings afterwards that are negative that it really outweighs any positive feelings that I got from doing that recreational activity. So the letter really helped it. And anytime I feel, and I've only read it I think twice. There's twice in about a 2-month period where I have wanted to do it, where I've had the time and I could have easily went and got some and did it, but I didn't. But this letter, the letter that you write to yourself, make it emotional. Because when you reread it, you want to relive those emotions that you do not want to feel again. And I found it to be very effective. So what happened this morning was, my weight's been an issue. Oh, my weight's been an issue for a good 20 years, where I've been up and down and all around and not doing what I should. And lately it's been out of control. I've been eating horribly, like whenever I'm by myself. And it's been awful. And this morning was no different. This morning at the early hours when I was awake, I got into my own Christmas stash that I had for myself for Christmas and ate a bunch of it. And I was like, why am I doing this? I was like, why do I keep doing this to myself? So what I did after I was done, and I used the 10-minute method this morning to get my work done because, again, I was not feeling it. It wasn't even a headache situation. It was just me being lazy, I guess. But if you haven't watched yesterday's video, I'll try to put it up here somewhere so you can see what I'm talking about. But I used that method to get things done. And then when I was done doing my schoolwork and things like that, I wrote myself a letter about how it makes me feel when I binge eat or eat sugary foods, eat junk food, and basically how I feel about myself the way I am right now, and how I want to feel and what I want to accomplish in life that would be doable if I was a fit, healthy person, not a overweight, unhealthy, binge eating person. So I have that note. I'm not going to read it, but I do have it right here. I'm not even going to leave it up there. I'm not going to read it, but I just want to let you know that I did honestly do this. I believe that this method has worked for me, like I said, with my other habit. And I'm keeping it on me because I feel like eating, although when I'm alone, like when I'm in my vehicle, that is the time where I would buy that stuff. But I eat it alone at home whenever I can get a spare minute to myself. You know, I eat junk food. And I'm suffering because of it. So if you have a bad habit that you want to try to kick that really makes you feel awful after you do it, write out those feelings and read them anytime that you want to binge eat. And also write out how you want to feel and how good you feel when you don't do those things. Because I feel I have been healthy through small chunks of time of my life. And I love those parts of my life where I could go for runs and really enjoy them and actually run, not just like slow jog my way through it, which is fine. But I really felt like a runner when I was running regularly and could run long distances. And now when I see runners on the street, I'm like jealous of them again. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm glad you're doing that. And I'm here, you know, driving around and not being physically active. So I want to get back into considering myself a runner again and be healthy, because those were probably some of the best times when I actually was healthy and fit. And I have kids that I want to set an example for, that I'm setting a horrible example. Although I eat in private, it's clearly that I'm overeating. Like I keep gaining weight. I keep getting fatter and fatter. Something's got to give. So I'm hoping this letter will help me. I've never written a letter to myself about my weight. So, you know, I'll update you as to how it's going. But something's got to give. And like I said, writing a letter has really helped overcome that other habit that I had. And like I said, I've used it a couple of times to prevent myself from getting any more. And it's been very successful because when I read it, I'm brought back to that place where I am when I regret doing it. And I don't want to go back there again because it's horrible. And it just sets you up for going around in that same awful circle again and again and again. And I'm just trying so hard to get out of that wheel and start something new that I actually want to do and enjoy doing. So there you have it. Try writing a letter. You won't regret it at any rate. And at least you'll get what's in your head out on paper. And I find that always helps. So please consider giving this video a like if you got anything out of it, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you tomorrow.